Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Dhanunjayareddy's channel. I am going to make previous year questions. As you all know, this is class number 3 of economics. So what we are going to discuss in this, as you know, importance of this particular topic in UPSC prelims and what is the scope of the subject that we have to study. Teaching the subject through past year questions. So we will learn the questions and we will learn the subject associated with it along with the notes that I am going to update after each and every chapter. Tips to solve the MCQs. If there are some tips, I will be solving it. Already we have done 2 lectures as far as economics is considered. This is the third lecture. So today I am going to start national income. Before that, in my last class, just go through a quick recap which are very important for UPSC this year. Inclusive growth concepts are always important. Inclusive growth is a positive term. Hence, if you want to get to the answer, if there is a question, definitely there will be a question on inclusive growth in UPSC. Why there will be a question? If you look at the syllabus of prelims, what they said for economy, the syllabus is this: economic and social development, sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, demographics, social sector initiatives. So without this, there will be no question. This is the syllabus, guys. UPSC official syllabus is this. Hence, they will ask a question on poverty, inclusion, and demographics. So inclusion, in order to have inclusion, inclusive growth is important. For that, we have to study inclusive growth. 8th 5-year plan, very important 5-year plans, and the rest of the objectives that I have already shared the notes in my first lecture and second lecture. Please download it, go through it. Very important for UPSC prelims. LPG reforms and its impacts. In that same notes, I have given what is the positives of LPG reforms, what are the negatives of LPG reforms that you have to study. 15th Finance Commission is important this year because Finance Commission is very, very important for UPSC. Already I discussed, it is discussing by Article 280 of Indian Constitution. Article 280 discusses about this Finance Commission, hence this is important. This is Central Finance Commission. Please have a look at Article 280 and 281 of Indian Constitution. This is State Finance Commission, which is given in panchayats and municipalities. How to remember? I means income, Y means income, endukundali, Y. So Y is my money, like that. 15th Finance Commission recommendations is extremely important this year. Food security, NFSA bill is extremely important. Please have a look at the provisions of NFSA. And OMSS, open market to stock sale. What is it? We'll discuss at a later stage. So in the first two topics, this is extremely important topics. We can expect one question in the prelims this year because this is the analysis of previous year questions from 2023 to 2008. However, from 1995 to 2008, I'll do it in the second iteration so that it will be like a revision for everyone. That is the point. And before going into today's topic, last time I have asked a question, which is the committee which has looked into the reforms of Muslims in the country. During the time of Dr. Manmohan Singh, the ex-Prime Minister of the country, such a committee was appointed in order to look into the status of the minorities, particularly the Muslims in the country. So Mr. Hari Krishna has answered this question. Hari Krishna Naik, thanks for joining and answering that. I wish you all the best. So let's start today, national income. So what are important for national income? Before going into this national income topic, let me give you a overcap about what we have to look at national income. This is the notes that I am going to share. This is again my class notes. As far as national income is considered, one of my class student have shared it. So in this we will find entirely about national income. So you can download this from the description box which is given below. So what are the topics or themes that is important for national income as far as UPSC prelims is considered? It is also important for UPSC mains because we have in mains also, but let's focus on prelims. The terms associated with it: what is gross, what is net, what is depreciation, what is domestic, what is national, what is net factor income abroad, what is base year, what is base effect, previous year question, factor cost, market price, nominal cost, real price, and then types of national income. What is GDP, what is NDP, gross national product, net national product, per capita income, personal disposable income, measurements of national income, how to measure, income method, expenditure, gross value added method, who will measure national income? Obviously National Statistic Office, NSO. With what frequency? Every quarter, every year they will be measuring it. What base rate? 2012 base rate or financial year 2012. Next, what is growth and what is growth rate? What is counter-cyclic fiscal policy? What is fiscal policy? These things we'll be studying. Subsequently, I think people have started celebrating Diwali. Okay. Drawbacks in the measurements, Government of India solutions for the drawbacks. This is mains question, drawbacks in the measurements. Trends in the national income, how India is performing. In the classroom, I have discussed from 1947 to 2023. Subsequently, I have discussed 5-year plans. 5-year plans, already I have shared the notes. So from this aspect to this one, this you will have in the notes. If you are interested to have a look, you can have a look. But this is what is the scope of the subject. I was just telling you about the scope of the subject, right? So this is the scope of national income as far as or the topic of national income in economics as far as this subject is considered. Importance of particular topic, I will show you what is the importance of national income by previous year questions, and we'll learn the subject also through here. So let's start with the first question today. Despite being a high saving economy, capital formation may not result in significant increase in the output. This is due to, look at the question, despite having high saving economy, we are having high savings, but despite this capital formation is not happening. Why capital formation? Capital formation is happening but not resulting in significant increase. In what? In the output. So capital is invested but output is not coming. We are studying for 8 hours but even we are not able to solve one question in MCQs. This is capital investment but output is very low. Why? This is the question. Right? Now look, which means in my last class I said one formula, one technique. What technique I said? Look at the positives in the inclusive growth. I said inclusive growth is a positive term. Look at the positives in the answer. That is the thing that I said. Now have a look at it. They are asking may not result in a significant increase in the output due to, which means they are saying the question is negative in a connotation. What do I mean by negative in connotation? They are asking choose the negative reason. That is the one that they are asking. So if you observe A, B, C, D, all are negatives. Why negatives? Because they are asking it is not resulting in significant increase in the output. Why? So the question is negative. Look at the negative aspects. Weak administrative machinery, illiteracy, high population density, high capital output ratio. Right? So illiteracy, high population density, weak administrative machinery, as well as high capital output ratio. You don't know, even if you don't know anything about subject, look at this. They are speaking about economics. This is speaking about polity. This is speaking about something called, these two are related to society. This is speaking about economy. So economic subject, economics answer will be correct. Simple. This is technique, but don't rely on techniques first itself. First learn the subject. This is my way of going. First learn the subject, then you can go with the techniques. So what does that question mean? Look at the question. There is one subject here we have to study. High saving economy leads to capital formation. That is one subject we have to have. So savings leads to capital formation. Very, very important. If I save or if I invest, capital is going to be formed. That is one way you have to remember, or one subject which is there here. However, whenever I am keeping capital, it is not going to give output. Why it is? Because there is one thing called high capital output ratio. Now, what exactly is this capital output ratio? Capital output ratio means in order to get an output, how much capital I have to keep. That is called output to capital ratio or capital to output ratio. In order to get one MCQ correct, if I am keeping 10 hours, this is high capital investment. Or if you are keeping only 1 hour to get one MCQ correct, then this is absolutely fine, low capital output. If it is in 30 minutes, if you are able to get, by studying 30 minutes, if you are able to solve one MCQ, which means you have less capital to output ratio. Which is better? Always less capital output ratio is better. With the less investment, you have to get more output. Less luggage, more comfort things, right? So this is the thing. So with the minimum amount, if you want to get maximum output, that is better. But in India, we are keeping high capital to get little amount of output. What do I mean? There is huge wastages in the production process. That is the thing. Why there will be less efficiency? What does this mean? The efficiency is less here. What is efficiency? Output by input. Input is the capital. You are investing, but output is low. Efficiency will be low. So indirectly they are saying efficiency is low. Efficiency is low means it will not result in increase in the output. See, look at the question. Significant increase in the output is not happening. Significant output increase is not happening because output itself is low. Right? Now what is the technique here? How to solve? As I said, look at the bit itself. This is economic subject. Right? The subject is economics, but they are giving different types of answers. But even if you don't understand the subject, even if you don't understand this, go with the basic thing. High capital output ratio. So capital to output is the ratio. This is the ratio formula, capital to output. It is saying it is high. When it will be high, guys? 8th class or 6th class. Capital should be either numerator has to be low. Sorry, numerator has to be high or denominator has to be low. Then out, which means denominator. What is denominator here? Output is denominator. What is happening to output? Decreasing. That is the question. Output is not increasing or output is decreasing. Just by writing the formula itself, we are going to get it. Are you understanding? I repeat. The question is high capital output ratio. What is the subject? Subject is less input, more output is always better. Less luggage, more comfort. Because that is what efficiency is. If you are working efficiently, if your capital system or economy is working efficiently, that is always better. This indicates efficiency. Even if you don't understand that, at least how to solve this, they are giving a ratio. What is the ratio? Capital to output. It is going to be high. When it will be high? When capital investment is high or output is low. Numerator should be high, denominator should be low. At that point of time, this parameter will be high. So output is low means there is significant decrease in the output. That is what they are asking. No increase means decrease. So the answer is D. What is the subject that you have to study here? Look, A, B, C, D, first analysis is all are negatives because the question is negative. So this is the first technique that I am saying. Look at the question, whether it is speaking in the negative connotation or in the positive connotation. If the question is speaking about negative connotation, look for the options where it is negative. All the options here are negative, so you cannot eliminate options. But at least what you can do, this is economy subject. So look at the economy thing, because rest of the things are not economy. Right? Weak administrative machinery, illiteracy, high population density. Right? Illiteracy, high population density are again speaking about the same aspect. High population density, illiteracy. If they become correct, they have to become correctly together. If they become wrong, they have to become correct wrong altogether. Why? Because that is the same subject. Both are related to the same subject. This is what I mean to say. So this is the first question. What is the technique, guys? Technique is remember ratio formula. That is the thing. But what is the subject? You write separately techniques, but subject is this, guys. High capital output ratio means with little input to get maximum output, but you are not getting it because efficiency is low. This is the first question. Look at the second question. Look at the second question. Now, if a commodity is provided for free to the public by the government, then what happens? What happens when commodities are provided freely by the government? Opportunity cost is zero. Opportunity cost is ignored. Opportunity cost is transferred from the consumers of the product to the tax-paying public. Opportunity cost is transferred from the consumers of the product to the government. So the following statement is correct. This is a difficult question, by the way. Why? Because you should know what is opportunity cost. Majority of the people thinks opportunity cost is zero. Opportunity cost is ignored by the government, hence it is provided freely by the government. So that is not correct. Opportunity cost means for taking every decision, there will be always an impact in both the directions. Right? Opportunity cost is by taking one path, what is the thing that you are going to lose? What is the opportunity that you are going to lose is opportunity cost. Say for example, after my graduation, I have got a job in Google. They have asked me that if I join their company, they are going to pay 20 lakhs per annum. But I have left it and I chose UPSC. So for choosing this UPSC, what is the cost that you are foregoing? What is the decision that you are foregoing? Or what is the measure that you are foregoing? That is called opportunity cost. There is an opportunity, you are foregoing it. So this is the thing. Always remember this, opportunity cost is this. Right? In our 8th class English book, there was a non-detail. The road not taken. What does this mean? When you are at the crossroads, when you take this road, you are not going to take this. So while going throughout this lane, we will be thinking, if I have went there, it would have been like this, it would have been like that. So we will be thinking about the opportunity cost. Say for example, after preparing for UPSC for 6 years, if you are not able to enter into the services, fortunately or unfortunately, then what we'll be thinking, I should have chosen some other job. But that is majority of the students who understand UPSC, they don't feel, but that is the opportunity cost. So if a commodity is provided freely to the public by the government, then what happens? Which means something is provided freely to the public. Who is providing? Government is providing. Which means say Mr. Modi is providing it. However, Modi cannot take it from his pocket. This is the thing. He has to take this free goods from the public's pocket itself. So someone should pay for others to get this for free, which means government collects taxes and it is distributing for the people. So this is a concept of distribution, that is called proportional taxation, right? So this is leading to inclusive growth. So how inclusive growth happens in India? Take from the rich, provide it to the poor. So what is happening? Opportunity cost is transferred from the consumer. Who is the consumer? Who is getting this benefit? Who is the person who is getting that benefit? Beneficiaries of the program. To the tax-paying public. So taxpayers has to pay for this. That is the reason why people will be debating why government should give free subsidies, why government should give free things for the public, because it is hugely taxing the other class. So those who are paying the taxes, they will be always complaining on the government that government should not resort to these type of techniques. Which techniques? Don't give subsidies. Why they say that don't give subsidies? Because opportunity cost is shifting from them to here. So that is the thing. So opportunity cost, always remember this is the subject. Next, increase in absolute and per capita GNP do not connect to a higher level of economic development. Now what he is saying is increase in absolute and per capita real GNP. First of all, what is this subject? Try to understand the subject. Right. What is GNP? Gross National Product. Gross National Product. Where to study? Go to my book. See what is GDP, what is GNP, what is NDP, what is NNP. Here I have given you clearly. I have given what is GDP, what is NDP, what is GNP, what is NNP. These are basics of economics. I hope you know this. Gross National Product is the national income that is earned, or the income that is earned by all the nations of the country. Nations means the citizens of the country, whether you are residing in your country or whether you are residing abroad. That is, NRIs also are covered under this. So that is a basic. So what is absolute and per capita real GNP? Now look at this. Real GNP. What is real? What is nominal? That also you should understand. Again, where you have to study, in the basics we have to study. What is real? What is nominal? Real is adjusted with the base year. Nominal is not adjusted with the base year. Now what is base and what is base year? These things you have to study. So all these things are covered in your class notes. Please download it and have a look at it. So that will be helpful to you. So real is adjusted with GDP. Now what they are saying, do not connect to a higher level of development. Why? Though there is, now look at this. Growth is happening. What is growth, guys? Increase in the GDP is growth. Though there is increase in the GDP, it is not connoting to the so-called increase in the development. It is not resulting in the development. So they are asking the linkage between growth and development. So what is inclusive growth? Inclusive growth is making your sections of population to be a part and parcel of growth. But the majority of the people are not being a part of your growth. The question is why they are not being a part of your growth. That is the thing. In major circumstances, people will not be a part of growth because they are kept away from the growth. That is called non-inclusive growth. So what they are saying, growth is happening, but it is not resulting in development. So how growth transforms into development, guys? So you should have growth to be inclusive. Otherwise, though there is growth, that won't turn to be development. What is development? Inclusive growth is development. Increase in absolute and per capita real GNP do not connect to a higher level of economic development. What it is saying, there is increase in GNP. Always GNP speaks, or GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP speaks about growth. National income is growth. But it is not transforming into development. Why it doesn't happen? Inclusive growth is not there. What are the factors that are contributing for inclusive growth? They have given in the UPSC Prelims syllabus. Poverty is there. Demography is not being sustained. Skill is not provided. Health is not provided. Education is not provided to the children. Employment is not provided. As a result, growth doesn't transform into inclusive growth. Hence, the question is, why growth is not transforming into development? Growth is not inclusive. So, non-inclusiveness. Now, what are the factors for non-inclusiveness? Poverty, unemployment, lack of human capital, that is education, health, standard of living, skill. This is not provided equally to everyone. Only the top sections are cornering everything, and they are growing and they are contributing to the economy. As a result, that is resulting in the so-called growth. So what this question is speaking about? It is speaking the linkage between growth and development. This is inclusive growth question. So why it happens? Because poverty is rising, unemployment is increasing. Hence, unemployment is increasing on one side, growth is happening on one side. What does this mean? Only few people are contributing to the growth. That is the answer. So this is the direct question, inclusive growth. Look at options if you don't understand how to eliminate at least. Inclusive growth, industrial output fails to keep pace with agricultural output. Agricultural output fails to keep with industrial output. What is this? Both are sectors of economy, right? Industrial output is failing to keep in pace with agricultural output. Agricultural output is going to fail or keep with industrial output. Both are similar statements. But look at this clearly. Both are similar statements. If this is correct, this has to be correct. Why? Then only in the sectors of economy you study primary sector, secondary sector. Primary sector is agricultural sector, secondary sector is industrial sector. So both are important for the growth of the country. If growth is happening, both has to be contributing. Right? So these are similar terms. If they become correct together. If they become wrong together. But in the options there is no 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. Only one option is there. What is the option? So both will be wrong. First eliminate them if you don't know this. And imports grow faster than exports. Now what happens? Imports is growing faster than exports means what does this mean? Imports are increasing, imports are decreasing, exports are increasing. What does this mean? Growth is decreasing. This is the thing that you have to understand. But the question is said that growth is increasing. What does it indicate? Import decreasing, export increasing means growth is decreasing. You know, right? Why growth is decreasing? Remember the term of growth or national income. National income is calculated by expenditure method. If you do understand, C plus I plus G plus X minus M. X is imports, M is X is exports, M is imports. National income, through national income you calculate growth, you calculate growth rate over a period of time. C plus I plus G plus X minus M is the calculation of national income. How? Right, this is again basic. If you don't know this, you have to look at it. So have a look at it. Income method, through income method you can calculate national income. Through expenditure method you can calculate national income. Now if you go and look at how national income is calculated in the expenditure method, national income is calculated through the formula of C plus I plus X plus G minus M. What is consumption expenditure of the public? If public is expending more, Diwali is going to be celebrated, people are spending more money, national income will grow. I means income. More people are getting employed, means more income will be there and more investments. Investments. Investments made by the public, investment made by the private, investments made by the foreigners. G means government spending. Right, if government is spending more, like Jagananna, Kapu Nestam, Reddy Nestam, like this, then there will be more growth. Why? National income is directly related to growth. Next one is X, exports, M, imports. So which means this ratio, in order to be positive, what it has to be? X has to be greater than M. Then this will be positive. So what should be there? If national income has to grow, these parameters has to be positive and they must be growing. So C must be growing, I must be growing, G must be growing, X minus M should be growing. Now what they have given in the question, exports are increasing, exports are increasing at a lesser pace than imports. That is what they have said. That is the question that they said. So if that is the thing which is happening, imports grow faster than exports. If imports are growing faster than exports, which means imports are increasing, exports are decreasing. This becomes negative, growth cannot be happen there. But look at the question that they said. Growth is happening. There is an increase in absolute growth, which means statement itself is wrong. This cannot happen in the increase. That is a connotation or that is a link of subject. So what is the subject here? National income is equal to C plus I plus G plus X minus M. C has to increase, I has to increase. National income increase avvali. If increase has to happen, then this is the way. Then if imports are growing faster than exports, that whole term is going to become negative. Then your growth is going to be negative. What is growth? National income in 2 successive quarters, national income in 2 successive years is growth. If you are calculating that in the ratio wise, you call it as growth rate. That is the thing. So option itself is wrong because it is directly contradicting the question. The only option that you have is poverty and unemployment. So whenever you know that this is inclusive growth topic, even if you don't know the answer directly, you go and tick this, because poverty and unemployment, whenever you find in the option, that will be maximum correct. Why it will be correct? Because syllabus is there. That is the thing. Directly in syllabus they have given poverty. Poverty question will be there. That you have to understand. This is the technique. The technique is this. What is the technique? In the syllabus, you have this. So we have to open our eyes and ears a little wide and observe this, because in the syllabus they have given poverty, demographics. How demography will be there? Skill will be there. Skill unte employment will be there. Now poverty and unemployment are the reasons. So directly they given. So from the syllabus they will ask the question. So this is one proof. Right, technique is this, but understand the subject. Subject is very important. Techniques may work or may not work, but syllabus understanding of the concept is really important. If you understand the economy, it will be like chewing the cane with your own teeth rather than drinking the sugar cane juice, right? It will give maza, right? That is the thing. With reference to Indian economy, consider the following statements. So they are speaking about Indian economy in the year 2015. They asked this question. The rate of growth of real gross national product has steadily increased in the last decade. Steadily is one extreme statement. The GDP at market prices in rupees has steadily increased in the last decade. Steadily. The rate of growth or growth rate, which means growth rate is taken in terms of percentages. What is growth rate? National income at the present year minus national income in the past year, that is base year, by national income in the base year into 100. This is called growth rate. So when growth is expressed in terms of percentages, it is called growth rate. GDP at market prices in absolute numbers, they are speaking in absolute numbers, has steadily increased. Whenever there is steadily, majority of the times the percentages cannot happen steady increase, percentages cannot happen steady decrease. In percentages, it is very difficult to have continuous growth for a decade. Look at the term, for a decade. It is a very long period. For long periods, percentages cannot grow steadily. This is the concept. Always remember this. In the last decade, steadily. What is percentage? Growth rate is percentages. Percentages cannot increase steadily. That you remember always. But absolute numbers can increase steadily. Now what do I mean? Say if I am in the 10th class, if I am writing and if I am belonging to Narayana or Sri Chaitanya College, they will be conducting some 30 tests or 40 tests or 300 tests throughout the year. To consider that I am getting 10 marks in my first unit test, 12 marks in second unit test, 14 marks in third unit test, 16 marks in the fourth unit test, 18 marks. Like this I will be getting 200 marks by the time they complete 400th test. Think that this is the scenario. Now look at this. This is absolute number. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. This is absolute number. Absolute number can increase steadily. But when you take percentage, what is percentage? Calculate percentage for this too. 12 minus 10 by 10 into 100. Calculate percentage for this. 14 minus 12 by 14 into 100. Absolute numbers, percentages cannot increase that steadily compared to your, percentages cannot increase steadily compared to your absolute numbers. Do calculation, you will understand what I am saying. Try to get this, then that is the thing. So absolute numbers, growth can happen, or absolute growth can happen, but a growth rate cannot happen over a decade. Now look, 10 parameters that they are giving. Decade means 10 years. Like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 years is one decade. Growth rate cannot have steady increase. So whenever you are getting the term growth rate, you can always consider, even though if you don't know the absolute figures, sir, I have not studied this, no one will study this. Absolutely, no one will study. Who can remember the growth rate of the country? Who can remember the growth of the country in absolute numbers? No one can remember. But what is the technique? Rate cannot increase steadily for 10 years. Example is, do with that example that I have said. GDP at market prices has steadily increased. At market prices in rupees, look at the term that they gave. In rupees means absolute numbers. Indirectly saying, don't go steadily. Steadily means wrong, but this fellow is giving a clue. In rupees, otherwise there is no need of giving in brackets. Why they are giving in brackets? Because he is saying that look carefully, a little wider, look at it. So UPSC, why should they give in brackets? First question is why they are so particular about that bracket. Because they want the student to focus on that bracket and think that don't go in your traditional mode, thinking that steadily cannot happen always. So that is a clue that they are giving. So one of my friend, one of faculty, he says that UPSC is like a mother who makes the children to eat the food by sitting beside. So in the examination hall, he is sitting beside. It is not like our stepmother. Step mother is mark test of outside test series, right? So if you look at the beauty of this UPSC, the beauty is this. What is the beauty? The beauty is this. UPSC only gives this beauty. Other tests they don't give it. This is the maja that you get in UPSC. The GDP at market prices has steadily increased in the last decade. So in market prices they can happen, in here you don't happen. So only 2 is correct. But don't worry about this. After 2015, this is 2015 question. After that, you don't find any question in this. Why? After 2016, growth rate has been highly volatile. So if you look at the present Indian scenario, what you have to observe is, if you look at the growth rate of India in the last 1 decade, during the times of Prime Minister Modi, what you observe is this trend of growth. The growth is inconsistent. Until 2015, you see a substantial increase in the growth. By November 2016, when government introduced this demonetization, growth started falling down, and it was added by GST, and there has been a phase of no return for 1 year or 1.5 years because of the COVID crisis. And suddenly we are growing with the V-phase growth, and again we are increasing, but this year again growth rate is going to decrease because of the global uncertainties that we are finding across the world. Right? So what does this indicate? This indicates that they won't ask this type of questions this year. That is very simple, because there is no steadiness. Economy is under volatile conditions. What Finance Minister said last month, Finance Minister stated that we are unable to understand what the economy is headed to. As a result, we are not going to give the FRBM report or FRBM document in a macroeconomic policy statement. So this question we cannot expect. So these type of questions are outdated questions, at least for the moment or for the next 3 years or 4 years. If they are asked, there is nothing, no steadiness in the absolute numbers, no steady numbers in rate growth. If they ask the same question this year, in 2023, both will be wrong. Right, guys? So this is 2015 question. Until 2015, economy was shining, but after that we had our own challenges. One is man-made challenges. The second one is artificial challenges. Natural challenges that has come because of COVID-19. Next question, guys. So I will stop here with this 4, and then I will subsequently make a second video in this. There we will discuss some more topics as far as this is concerned. Thanks for joining, guys. Have a great day.